and even your freedom just to chase a better life outside Nigeria, only to be flown back home empty-handed, and sometimes even with just only nylon bag. That's what happened recently when 104 Nigerians were returned from Algeria. It was through a program meant to bring stranded migrants back home to Nigeria. But the big question remains, why are people still fleeing to Obodoyibo? And what happened when they returned back home in Nigeria? Will the government take good care of them? Today, we're going to dive deep into these powerful and emotional stories. This story now is not just a news at all. This is the reality many Africans are facing for Obodoyibo. This incident happened on June 30th, 2025. About 104 Nigerians, they returned home all the way from Algeria. They landed at Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos around 1:50 p.m. That was in the afternoon. The flight was operated by Air Algeria. This flight wasn't a normal flight at all. It was a chartered flight, and also it was part of the assisted voluntary return programs coordinated by the International Organization for Migration in partnership with the Nigerian government. Among the returnees were 80 adult males, 40 adult females, 2 boys, 5 girls, and 3 infants. But as soon as they landed like this, they were registered by the immigration officers who were waiting for them on the ground. NEMA was also there. That is the National Emergency Management Agency, was fully on ground. What did they do? They provided food, water, medical checks, and even ambulance services. Do you know that some of the returnees, they don't even have any luggage at all? They only carry them the way they met them, the way they saw them there in Algeria, and they were returned back to Nigeria just solo like that. They look very, very weak, tired, and even traumatized. But still, the goal was clear: to return them home with dignity. One NEMA officer said, this comprehensive support ensure a dignified and a safe return back to Nigeria. Now, let's pause for a moment here. Why did they leave Nigeria in the first place? Most of them were on a dangerous route to Europe. Brain that Europe is just around the corner there. Then they have to cross through Niger. They have to cross through Algeria. And even they have to even go through Libya just for them to be able to want to cross to Europe. This is not a luxury vacation at all. We are talking about brutal desert, human trafficking. Even they will beat them. Also, they will even arrest them. And sometimes, some of them, they will buy them. These smugglers, they will promise them job and also a better life. And sometimes they will use it also to cajole them to be able to enter our men or enter our women. Some people, before they left Nigeria, they sold their land. They sold their father's property. The inheritance as well, they dispose it just to be able to do what? To cross to Obodoyibo. Some even borrowed money. Some even use their family's life saving. They use it, they put everything together just to be able to cross to abroad, and only for them to be arrested when they got to Algeria, and they lock them up in detention centers. This incident isn't a wartime event at all. Just 12 days before, that is on June 18, 147 Nigerians were also flown back from Agadez, Niger Republic, and their stories almost the same. Over the years, thousands have been returned from Libya, from Mali, from Tunisia, from Morocco, and even from Saudi Arabia. But people don't even get to hear much about them. Only the people that were being returned either from America, not from Europe or from Canada, that the news is everywhere. So the IOM partners with NEMA, immigration, and even others to offer reintegration help to them. And what could that be? This could be a kind of skill training therapy or even a small business grant given to them. But not every one of them get that help. It's just few amongst them. The luckiest one among them will get all those goody that were prepared for them. And even when they do, it doesn't even always change their life overnight. Let's talk about the shame that involved when they return back to Nigeria. Many returnees avoid going back to their villages. Why? They fear being mocked. They fear being judged one way or the other, because people, they always look at you like, wow, you've returned from Obodoyibo, so they expect much from you because they left with promises and they came back empty. And sadly, this same shame pushes some of them to even want to try again and again and again, to want to try to go back because they see themselves back in Nigeria as a failure. But we can't just blame the migrant. The truth is, Nigeria's economy is pushing people out of Nigeria. There are no jobs. There's insecurity. Electricity is unstable. Schools and hospitals are struggling in Nigeria. A 2023 Afrobarometer survey shows that 52% of Nigerians will leave the country if they had the chance to japa. And for many Nigerians, irregular migration seems to be the better option for them. And that is even the only option that they want to put there and they want to try. If it's going to cost them their life, they don't mind. The important thing is, I'm out of Nigeria. Don't you see? People are running to Ghana. people are running to South Africa, and still South Africa are saying Nigeria must go. Ghanaians are saying Nigeria must go. Americans are saying Nigeria must go. Even UK are even saying Nigeria must go. Haven't you heard our sister Auntie Kemi? He will say, you know what? It's going to be difficult for Nigeria for them to get some kind of permanent whatever there in the UK. Everybody now are targeting Nigeria. Nigeria must go back. It's high time we also make our country to be the best, so that we will not have any cause of running out of Nigeria. So what can we do about all this? It's not enough to fly people back to Nigeria. Our government is not, that is not the pabambari at all. The Nigerian government needs to invest in the youth. That means real jobs need to be provided. And also reskill training. They need to train all the youths in Nigeria for them to have real skill. Real empowerment is also very, very necessary. Not for them to go and give them some kind of clay pot and say, yeah, this is empowerment. Or to go and give them wheelbarrow and you're telling me that is empowerment. No, real empowerment that will sustain them at least for the rest of their life. And there has to be more awareness that going to abroad is not the option. And that smugglers, that they lie. And traffickers, they also exploit them. And that many people die in silence in the desert or at the sea. Please, if you know someone who is planning to japa illegally, talk to them. Let them have a rethink. Wherever they want to go, they should make sure that that place is sustainable. Please.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode. This is part 2. There were so many things I needed to say, but I couldn't say because of time. But please, this video is particularly targeted to some vital points, information, or discussions that I need us to have, particularly for Ghana and South Africa first, or any other African country. Please, let's wade into these issues that need to be addressed, right? Which is the issue of Nigerians migrating to all these countries as Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, like majority, vast number, influx of Nigerians into Ghana, into South Africa, into Kenya. So welcome to another episode. But before we delve deep into all this discussion, because a lot to be said here, I'm mostly out here to talk, right? To back up a thing or two, but please, I'm here to talk. Let's talk one-on-one as, people with, rational mind, positive mind, a mind of dialogue that wants to be really, really educated and understood with all that is happening, and well tutored about the character or characters of Nigerians as a country and as a people. So if that is what you will be interested in, so please sit back, go nowhere, watch patiently to the end, because every bit of what we'll be talking here, because I believe I'm communicating with people, will be very, very vital and important, and you will sure learn a thing or two, right? Now, with that being said, like this video, share this video at the end of the day, and stay subscribed if you like it on here. Now, first of all, the point is, as a Nigerian wailing into the recent uproar as a result of immigrants or migrants of Nigerians in Ghana, South Africa, and the rest of them, I have gone deeply in research to, ponder, to want to know why and how are Nigerians going into all these countries. Okay, now, we have seen that in recent times, most of these countries, both in the Western and African countries, are populated, oversaturated by immigrants cut across most of these African countries, like African immigrants going. But if you look at it critically, you will come to see that majority of the immigrants or migrants are Nigerians. And from the recent outburst of what is going on in Ghana, of Ghanaians saying enough, we have too much of Nigerians in our hands. South Africans are saying we have too much of Nigerians in our hands. All these countries are saying we have too much of Nigerians and immigrants, in a nutshell, in our hands, and we cannot cater for them. Now, the point is, according to every country, there are laws and principles that are binding on every country for immigrants or immigration as a department or a unit. And it states that for some countries, if you are coming in normally, you are supposed to be coming in for, different motives, maybe for tourism and culture or visitation. There is stipulated time, which is 3 months, according to the ECOWAS passport, right? And it's expected that after that 3 months, you visit and go back. Just the way US and Donald Trump has streamlined it to 3 months, no matter whom you are. Now, if you're coming for permanent residence, you should have a particular amount of money in your bank account that you should come and invest. That means it is expected that as an immigrant, you are supposed to be coming into a country for a sole purpose of what? Impacting into the country you're going to. So let's forget the fact that we are Africans. The same law that abides most times in these Western European countries is supposed to also be a thing, because every country is targeted towards growing and boosting their economy. You can't just come into people's country as an immigrant to, just, wallow yourself away, roam about, to be roaming about. And that is where crime sets in. Imagine a person or a Nigerian migrating to a country without any formal education, no certificates, no skill whatsoever. You are not, because you are not comfortable in your country as a Nigerian, you are complaining your leaders are bad, insecurity, your leaders are, corruption has eaten deep, insecurity and the rest of them, hardship, inflation or whatever. Then you feel like you want to migrate to another country as a permanent resident, and you do not have a well-structured plan and goal, objective of wanting to go to any country. You just pack your bag, believing that when you get there, you can double in, double out, anything can go, you can do any kind of job. And when you look at it on the angle of them in the Western European British countries, you see that if they're not into these menial jobs of caregivers and the rest, you see that majority of them are under the umbrella of immigrants, in the shelf of immigrants, in the shelf of asylum seeker, without any skill, no formal education, no degree, no certificate whatsoever to make you a gainfully employed, resident in any country you find yourself. You are not gainfully employed. What are you doing? You are just a layabout, a menace, constituting nuisance, burdening and overburdening the country that you found yourself in. Just like we have in Ghana, South Africa. And most times, they come in through the wrong borders, which makes them illegal. Because if you're coming legally, you should have gone through the process of what the law states for every legal immigrant to come into the country. You will not go by the bush, by the corners. You will not cut through corners. You will go the right path. Okay, for example, I choose to visit Ghana. I should know what it takes to visit Ghana and, for tourism and the period of time I'm supposed to stay there. And before that time, on or before that time, I'm expected to leave. Or if I say I'm coming to Ghana for permanent residence or whatsoever, I should be able to know what the law states and prepare myself too. How much do I have to go to Ghana to invest? How am I going into Ghana, for instance? What am I impacting? What am I going to do there that is legit, that will be legit and also contribute to the economy, the growth, the success and development of Ghana or any country, for instance, I find myself? Maybe I'm not, certified, I'm not, educated, no degree, no whatsoever, for instance. I'm not skilled in any way. I'm just a layabout, a street person roaming about, and I want to catapult myself to Ghana or any country and continue in that same way. Like, who does that? How is that even acceptable? How is that even a thing accepted in that country I want to go? That is where I become a criminal by, going into the country or any country illegally without any plan, objective, motive that is very, very, balanced and accepted by the laws of that country. Then that is where you find them coming in as kidnappers, coming in as ex-convict, escapees who have committed crimes in Nigeria and they have run for their life to hide in Ghana. Guys, recently I discovered that most people I don't see again in my city, in Nigeria, in my city from Nigeria, have escaped to countries like Ghana. And they claim that they are in US, they're in Canada, they are in Ghana. These are people with no formal education, no degree, no skills, no whatsoever. They go there with the intention of what? Establishing this school of Yahoo Yahoo. They trickishly, single-handedly rent an apartment at the end of the day and begin to recruit boys from Nigeria here. They sponsor them to get there, to come under them, and they recruit them and train them for this scamming. And at the end of the day, these are people constituting nuisance and contributing to the downfall of the country, Ghana, and every other country we are talking about here. Why? Because they are intentionally coming or going to these countries for crime, as a hideout for crime, as a hideout, as an escapee, ex-convict. And this is the problem. These are the issues. I discovered that most of them are in Ghana, and they pretend, they hide. And most of them are yet to be discovered by the government and the security agencies in Ghana. They are there. There are some that I heard, I used to know, I heard them in Ghana. I was shocked. I was like, really? They recruit teenage boys and girls. For the girls, Olosho. Now tell me, what are you doing in Ghana? What are you doing in another mass country? When you are not gainfully employed through degree, certificate, skill, or whatsoever, and you are paying tax to the government of Ghana, because the only way the government of Ghana can recover something is through tax payment, right? They generate income through tax and revenue. In Nigeria here, we call it revenue, tax. That's why if an Igbo man from the east leave his state or his region and come to South River State and you're doing any business, you pay your tax or your revenue for the indigenous, they go around collecting revenue because that's how they generate money for the state, for the local government, right? But you see that if people are in Ghana, or this kind of people are in Ghana that are not, employed under any firm, any company, any organization, legally, legitimately, gainfully, that they are being paid salary, their taxes are deducted and given back to the government, then how are you making any impact? How are you contributing to the growth, the development of the country? How are you even relevant in the country? How many Nigerians out of 100, out of 1 million, out of 1,000 are in Ghana that are gainfully employed, that the statistics have their record in the system as Nigerian residents that are gainfully employed, being paid salaries, or self-employed in the area of owning legit standard business that has gone through the process, the laws of how the country stipulates that business should be run and carried out accordingly? How many? How many? Now, for the ones that come that they are doing businesses, what kind of businesses are they doing? Do they own shop? For their shops, do they go through the policies? Do they pay return tax? Do they pay tax? Is it the one that go on the street, line up and block everywhere, selling, phone cases and the rest of them, making containers here and there, disorganizing the cities, the communities, as Nigerians, as traders from different countries, particularly Nigeria? Then you say you're developing the country by making the country look stupid, scattered, unorganized? Is that the business? Whereby the country says that there is a certain amount, according to Ghanaians, comment below, that you should have to come into the country and invest. Then you are allowed. But you see them running their mouth. We are building the economy. If we live as hustlers, as Igbos, as this, as that, the economy of Ghana will crumble. Are you crazy? Is that what it is to be an immigrant or a resident of any country, particularly Nigeria, in Ghana, or any other country, or South Africa, Kenya? You carry this, your mentality of living anyhow, doing anyhow, committing crimes. You move to these countries with that character embedded in you, going there now and exhibiting the same thing. How are you relevant? Why are you even there? What are you doing there? Like I asked, if we have 1,000 and just barely 80 are gainfully employed, the remaining 20 we are talking about today, what are they doing there? You say you're self-employed. Who are you? How are you contributing to the growth of the country? Are you paying tax as a resident? What are you doing there? It's as good as staying back home because you're not contributing anything. It's as good as staying back home. I can't imagine myself leaving my country to Ghana. I don't have any plan. I just want to stay there. Even if I'm a content creator, I'm be creating content. How do I contribute to the country? How do I pay my tax? Am I paying tax? That's my question. Am I not supposed to be paying tax? Because if at the end of the day I'm not paying my tax, I'm cheating on the government, on the system, and I'm a criminal. It makes me a criminal. So when I see people who stay, they say, I'm in Ghana. I'm in Ghana and I'm doing something, I'm self-employed, I'm this, I'm that. And at the end of the day, you are not paying tax. Then how are you contributing to the government, to the growth of the country? How? Let's be realistic, let's be truthful. If I say because of electricity, the peace, the comfort Ghana has, or any other country have, the good life, the well-structured system that is working effectively there because my own country does not have, that's the only reason why I want to travel to Ghana or any of these countries, then I'm stupid. That I just want to go there and be a permanent resident because of these benefits. Then I'm greedy, selfish, wicked, and stupid. Because my main intentions for wanting to leave my country should not just be for my selfish interest alone. It should be for the growth, the success, and the development of that country. Vice versa. So it should too be for Nigeria, anyone coming in. It's vice versa. So are we getting this whole thing now? Because if we come from this angle and tackle it, how are people coming in, number one? What are they coming into? Those that are there, are they, gainfully employed? If they are self-employed, are they returning taxes to the government? What are they doing? Who are you and what are you doing in Ghana? Or you heard that Ghana is a peaceful country, or this country, South Africa, is a peaceful country. This country is well structured and organized. Then you come into the country. Then at the end of the day, it is just for your own selfish, greedy, and wicked interest. Then you are a fool, a big fool. I said it with my full chest. You have to leave because you're a criminal. If you have your residence, everything that states that you should be there, what are you doing there to boost the economy, to survive? Okay, what are you doing there to survive? Now, in your course of getting money to survive or making money to survive, how are you giving back to the country? These are the questions. Guys, if you're not seeing my face, you know that NEPA has taken the light. No issues. Let's move on. These are the questions. And until these measures have been tackled, criminality will not stop in Ghana and all these countries. Abuse of, immigration laws and boundaries will not stop. And these are the focus and the basics of the issues we are supposed to be tackling. Start with the immigration laws and policies on businesses, on immigrants, no matter whom you are. Nobody is above the law. Because first, Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, every African country is for them first before we talk of any other immigrants. The indigenous, the citizens first before foreigners. Okay? No matter whom you are, in a nutshell, in summary, as a Nigerian, ask yourself, why are you traveling to any country? Why are you traveling to that country? You just want to go for greener pastures for your own selfish interest. And you see that at the end of the day, when it comes to all these Western European, British countries, their law is strong, very rigid, very strong. And you then not question it. But when it comes to African countries, they begin to attach sentiment, emotions, and bias, entitlement mentality. Let the law favor them. Let the law be twisted and, turn to favor them because we're Africans. What sort of stupid mentality is that? Who told you because we're Africans, we should not respect the laws, respect our boundaries? We should not put ourselves first as citizens of our countries. Even within us as Nigerians, you don't come to another state and begin to claim rights. The indigenous will treat your rubbish and send you back to your state. If you go to another state, from each region or state to state, you're supposed to even respect the law that governs or binds on that state or region you find yourself. So it is in every civilized country. And if we say we want to be civil, that is how it should be. So it doesn't mean that when you go to Canada, you go to US, UK, you will follow what the law says and you will respect them because they are no nonsense people. They will not tolerate you. They don't share the same color, the same race with you. You respect them, right? Then when it comes to Nigeria, or when it comes to Africa, you begin to attach sentiment, emotions, and bias. Please, we don't do sentiment here. We are very pragmatic and realistic. And if you cannot follow what the law says, you go back to your country. It's not by force. If your country is not good, go and fix it. It's nobody's cross to carry. It's nobody's business to carry. Everybody carry your cross, right? And until we begin to address these things, we are not going to get it right. These are the issues, and this is the cross of the matter. People live in their country without plan, without goal, objective, no skill, no education, no degree, no whatsoever. You are wallowing and roaming around the street, moving like a decimal point, and you still carry that again to another mass country, adding to their problem that they already have. Who does that, Charlie? Who does that? That is where the problem lies. You see all of them through waters, through bushes, through roads, running to Ghana, escaping there to carry out this scamming lifestyle, kidnapping lifestyle, killing, unaliving. Then you think we are joking, or you think it's ending anytime soon. So in summary, my advice to every country, particularly Ghana, South Africa, don't give up on this fight. Stand to protect your boundaries. Stand to defend your country. Stand to protect the lives and properties of your countries first, because these people coming into your country as Nigerians are not coming for your own interest though. They are coming to destroy your country. The vast majority of them, they are coming to take over the country. If Ihenetu, the fake king, was not, caught red-handed and attacked the way he was attacked, I bet you all those things he was saying, they are not his plans, are really his plans that he really intended to carry out. But because he has been caught, he has been shot in the foot, he changed his mouth and pretended not to, own up to what he initially said. This is the crafty, wicked, hypocritical, and, dubious life of Nigerians everywhere they go. So stay woke, be at alert, be on the know. Be on the watch as a Ghanaian, as a Kenyan, as a South Africa, any country at all countries in Africa. If Cameroon and Nigeria have decided that they don't know their left from their right, they will not even, want to own up to their responsibility and fight for their country. Look at Cameroon, look at Nigeria, almost the same thing. Bad leadership. Then at the end of the day, are these the people that are coming to build your country? People who have destroyed their country, that cannot build their country, they want to come and build your own. Like, who does that? How does it even make sense? So the security agencies, the immigration of Ghana and all these countries, even the citizens now, if all these people are sleeping, wake up, citizens, wake up and begin to stand up for your rights. Defend your country. I don't care who is involved, because this is no issue of sentiment or I love Nigerians. If you love Nigerians or Nigerians love you, they should come to your country and do the right thing. Live peacefully, abide to the law, the rules and regulations that governs your country. That is where you can say yes, you love a Nigeria or you love Nigerians. Of course, there are still Nigerians that are out of this box we're talking about, who are doing legit business according to what the law states. These are exceptions, of which I will always put out here, right? Because I'm not insane. So until all these things are being looked at, we accept it that these are the crux of the matter, the basics, the issues we need to tackle, then we are going nowhere. Not until then we can say that we are looking at ourselves as one. You can't call me your brother or your sister as a Nigerian, as a Nigerian to a Ghanaian, and you're unaliving your fellow Ghanaian, your fellow African citizen before their very eyes, even the one that are in your country. Go and see what they are doing in South Africa, all over the world, Dubai and the rest of them, as Nigerians. Then you will understand better. Not until we digest these things and look into it critically, then we've not started. And with all this, I will say, this is what I have to say and even more. But let me hold it here for another day, right? And if you can comprehend and understand with all I've said here, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, give it a huge and a massive thumbs up. Share this video and stay subscribed. And I will see you in my next one. Ciao, ciao.